Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming, and I haven't done one of these in a while, but I kind of felt like I needed to this time around because I love this game so much. So we're going to talk about River City Girls 2. Now, I've already posted a review for this. You can check that out on the channel. But that's not what we're talking today. We're talking about 5 things we would like to see in River City Girls 2 or /3. So right off the bat, I mean by either way of DLC or by way of River City Girls 3, the sequel to this. I don't know how they would do it one way or the other. You know what I mean? I also want to say a couple of things. Basically, usually I put this question out to the community. I didn't do that this time, mainly because most of our community is not interested in 2D brawlers that I've noticed. I mean, Amateur Hour is probably my lowest rated show out there. So this is kind of more just me doing it off the cuff. The other thing I also want to say is DLC or the sequel. It doesn't matter to me which way we get these things. And these things are not must-haves. They're kind of fantasy picks that I'd like to see in the game. And I love this game. It's one of the best 2D brawlers out there. Just to say it is the best 2D brawler out there. Just to say a couple of nice things about it before we get started. But with that in the books, what would I like to see added? What would I like to see come? Now, I also want to put the disclaimer that these 5 things that I'm about to give you do not come in any specific order. This isn't a countdown. There isn't a top thing I want to see or a lowest thing I want to see. There's just 5 things that I want to see in no particular order. Alright, so let's get into it. So, number 1, character creator. Okay, so this is kind of a crazy one, and it's hard to do. Even if they just allowed you to use the sprites that are already there, which there are tons of sprites in there, and change the color palettes, that would be something. What I'd also want from the character creator is the ability to pick and choose what techniques you start with, what techniques you buy from, kind of build your combo out, and I think that would be really cool. River City Girls kind of works on this like standard combo with heavy attacks at certain places system, which gives you a lot of variation. It also gives you a lot of variation with the jumping and the aerials and the juggles and stuff. I love it. It's a very, very deep combat system when you start to get into it. But to make it even deeper, to allow you to have customization over a character and their base combos would be absolutely cool. You could use all the NPC kind of models, and then you could just take one color, swap it, rename it, and then like fill in the combos where you want. I think that would be an awesome addition to this game. It'd be a lot of fun. All right, so number 2. More characters. I know, it's all about characters today. I mean, it's also all about more. Basically, this game is the best 2D brawler ever made. I just want more of it. I want it. So more characters. Give us all the characters. Right now, the game has 6 playable characters. 4 at the start of the game, 2 that are unlockable after the first 2 stages, and all the characters are diverse, interesting, deep on the combat. They're a lot of fun to play. So I want more. I mean, WayForward is so good at this game and making these characters cool. So I want to see them do them all. Jimmy and Bimmy are in the game already as shop owners. Those are the Double Dragons, in case you are not up to speed on your 2D brawler factoids. I'd love to see them back in the action. I'd love to see what they did with that. Also, you got Provy in there. Let's see the other guys from River City Ransom Underground. Paul, Steven, the Shadowkhan guy, the boxer. Give us all those characters. Just give us any character you can think of. Just give us characters. Give us more. I love the characters that are already in it. I want more and more characters to play with, which feeds kind of into some of what I want from the next one. So let's go into it. Number 3. I want new areas. So this game is huge. For a 2D brawler, the size and the scope of this game is massive. And new areas are basically, the game works kind of in an open world way where there are different kind of levels, almost smaller levels that are 2D style, and then they're kind of like paced together, kind of like post-it notes, and then they're kind of in a certain area. So a bunch of them will make up downtown, and a bunch of them will make up crosstown and all that. So there's quite a few areas in this game, and honestly, I want more. I want to see more. And it's another really cool way you could introduce new characters is you could just put out a DLC, much like they did with the 2 unlockable characters. They ended up being the bosses of the first 2 areas you go to. You can put out a DLC character. It can be a new area, and it can be Steven from River City Ransom Underground that you have to fight, and then he ends up joining you. I think that would be a really cool way to add both the new characters and the new areas. That makes everybody happy and gives you kind of a more reason to grind kind of sort of thing afterwards. And by grind, let's talk about my next one. And that would be number 4, an endgame. I know. Everybody hates an endgame grind. I don't. I love to have reasons to play the game after I'm done with the game. So I would love some sort of like extra missions after this, and they could be missions like go knock out 200 of this guy, go fight 300 of this guy, go collect all the characters together, stuff like that. Give me reasons to play it afterwards. It can be huge goals that take me a really long time to do that are almost tedious, but it still gives me a reason to come back to this game and to keep playing it. And just so that everybody knows, I don't know that there isn't an end game because I have not finished the game yet. So if there is, please just don't get mad at me. Just disregard this one. But if there isn't, that's what I'd like. I'd like something like that. Like go out and other than just the achievement hunting, go out and do these things for some other sort of special doohickey or special mission. I thought a really good way of doing an end game would be once you've cleared out the last bad guy, like each area kind of is run by a certain gang, like it fractures them, and then you have to take out a certain number of people to like run that territory to kind of take over that gang. You can even spawn some kind of like bigger versions of just normal baddies, like almost boss versions of the baddies, just by upping their stats a little bit. And that would be kind of like the boss characters that just kind of randomly spawn, but only after you fought so many characters in that area. I think that'd be a really cool end game. I don't want to stop playing this game, really, ever, and I want them to give me a reason to not play this. It's to not stop playing this game ever, and I think that would be a huge thing for the game. Which brings us to number 5. And this I want to see just because I loved it so much in Streets of Rage 4 that it started Amateur Hour. It was where I started on Amateur Hour. And if you're not going to give us the end game or some newer characters and areas to fight through, this would be a great way to extend the lifespan of this absolutely marvelous game, and that would be giving us a survival mode. Survival mode in Streets of Rage 4 was basically you had procedurally generated one-room areas. Bad guys would drop in, you'd beat them all up, or you go down. You had one life bar. You got health back by knocking people out. You'd also get like a perk of some sort at the end of the stage that gave you, elemental damage or higher damage or something like that. Kind of in the fashion of like a rogue, a roguelike. Basically you just try to see how deep you could get before you had to start over again, before you got taken out and they had to start over again. The bad guys, of course, increased in difficulty. The health drops got lower and lower. You just try to get deeper and deeper. That would be another good way to extend the lifespan of River City Girls 2 by putting in a survival mode, putting in something like that. Even if it was almost a carbon cutout of the Streets of Rage one, you could do a lot with it. You wouldn't need new voice acting, so you wouldn't have to bring new people, the actors back and pay them again. You just use the sprites you already have. You can use the rooms that you already have, just have them randomly generate with random enemies. Be pretty easy to do and a good way to extend the lifespan of the game, so I'd love to see it. So did I get all these right? Did I get them wrong? What would you like to see out of River City Girls 2? I personally believe this is the greatest 2D brawler that I've ever played. So there's not a whole lot of improvements I'd like to see made. These are all things I just want more of it. I want more of this perfect game. And I want more reason to just keep playing this perfect game. Again, this could be DLC for this one. So all of these could be DLC for this one or what we see in 3. Either way, that's what I'd like to see added. But you guys can let me know what you want added in the comments below. I would appreciate it. And then as far as anything else, you can contact me on Facebook. OldManDH. You can contact me on Twitter, OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord. Link will be in the description below. And listen to all of our shows from there. And as long as you guys keep watching, listen, I'll keep making them. See you guys next time.